I don't know what that was. I think that was Disney popping out.
Disney popping out, Disney Plus, hiking its skirt, ha-donk, Ahsoka, ha-donk, The Bad Batch, ha-donk, Boba Fett, milk it, milk. Happy holidays from here at Popcorn. We did it. The final episode of Season 2 of The Mandalorian. We're here, and I have thoughts.
I have thoughts, too.
I have some thoughts. I have some positives, but I also have some negatives.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, be sure to like and subscribe, become part of our Pupper Pack. Here we go. So the episode starts strong.
Yeah.
Like, they have, like, this whole decoy thing going on because they want to head over to Moff Gideon. But first and foremost, they want to grab the doctor.
Well, I feel like it's, like, Mando is, like, assembling his team.
Yeah.
So, like, the end of the last... Not the last episode, but working towards, like, after Grogu was taken, he's like, you're a badass fighter. They took the kid. And everyone is like, not the kid. And they, like, assemble this team. So the opening of this one, they're going to get the other Mandalore that they found.
First, they retrieve the doctor.
Yeah. So they're, like, just assembling a crew, like... Mandalore team, assemble!
There's just a nice tidbit when they, like, hold the doctor at gunpoint, and he's just like, I know, you're from Alderaan.
Yeah.
And, like,
so
he really pushes the button.
Yeah, that stormtrooper was just like, I know exactly how to get you mad. And Kara was like, too mad, boom.
Well, he wasn't necessarily a stormtrooper. He just was in cahoots with the Empire.
With the Empire. He wasn't in stormtrooper gear.
Right.
But, like... I just think it's funny that they were assembling their crew.
Yeah,
so, and
it's
then
very cool.
By the end, they, like, got the other stormtroopers. I don't know what happened to the guy stormtrooper. He was just MIA the whole time. He must have got a different acting gig. Because there was the two women and the man.
You said stormtrooper again. They're Mandalorians.
I didn't mean stormtrooper. You know what I mean. I'm tired.
That's why I'm getting confused.
No.
Like, what happened to the one male stormtrooper? I'm like, they're all male.
The Mandalorians.
Yes.
So... That's getting words.
Yeah, so we had the two Mandalorians from Mandalore, Bo-Katan, and, like, already she's, like, very angry. She's
very villainous. Like,
yeah, she has a very antagonist tone. I don't know why people really like this character.
I don't.
I'd have to watch the cartoon to see, like, where this beloved character is. Because I see someone who's like, me, out for me, join me, reconsider.
I don't know if it's the acting, if it's the directing of the character.
Like, the one time her vile and venom made sense was when she spotted Boba Fett, and it's just like, you're not a Mandalorian, you're a clone. And he's like, pfft, like, I give a shit.
Yeah.
And then they throw down. And then it's just like, well, we gotta work together, guys.
The whole time I'm like, she's gonna double cross. She's gonna do something and double cross them, and, like, I don't get good vibes from her as, like, a good guy. But they all team up, and now they're like, let's go save the kid.
Yeah.
So, and basically, Bo-Katan is just like, you can save the kid. I'm going to get the Darksaber. And so they, like, come up with this plan of how they're going to enter the ship and do all that. And they set up, like, this big elaborate, like, we're being shot at. And Boba's just like, damn right you are. It's really cleverly thought out how they get into the ship and how they just, like, go in guns blazing.
Yeah.
So.
It was awesome because, like, they just come in and they're the decoy. And then Din, he has to go off to find the child. So they're just laying waste to all these stormtroopers. It's glorious. Every character has, like, their beautiful kill.
Right.
We got Ming-Na Wen, sharpshooting.
One thing that I really, really appreciate that they did is, like, you did get the strong female, like, guns blazing, like, they're the hero of the scene. Without it being like, we're the hero because we're girls, girl power. Like, you didn't have that moment.
It served the story and it made sense.
Yeah, but it was also kind of like, all right, let's go.
Unlike like, Endgame with that one scene where it's just like, this would make a very cool poster for the ladies.
And it's just like, it was annoying.
Story-wise, it made no sense. All the ladies, let's just team up in this one spot and pile drive.
Exactly. That was fan service to be like, girl power, girls can like superheroes, whereas this one, it made sense because they were just
you still had your moment and it looked cool as shit.
Right, it happened to be the female characters.
It served the story.
Right. So I really like that kind of like little baby girl power moment without it being like, girl power.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
It shows, yes, little girls can like Star Wars, and there are some badass females in Star Wars, but...
Yeah, and there's more to Bo-Katan than her boob armor.
Yeah.
Because apparently that's a thing.
God damn.
But hey, if you want to get into that, I suggest watching Shadiversity. He's really good at the kind of like armor and
a lot of
weapons and stuff. So check out that channel. I'll put a link below. He knows his shit about like practicality
really
of like
a good video.
That kind of stuff. But as for the episode itself, Din goes his way, and he's like, knock, knock, dark troopers. He's like, ah, shit.
I love that he's very casual the whole time. Like, he's sneaking around. He's kind of like taking his time, making sure he doesn't get caught. And then as he's walking past, the doors of the dark troopers are opening, and he's like, no. And he's like,
control,
he's like trying to like get the doors closed, and then you just see their hands like pulling the doors apart, and I'm like, oh no. Yeah. He's in danger.
Yeah, one gets through.
Yeah.
And it just like pins him and starts just punching him repeatedly.
Yeah.
To where he has to use up
rough.
all of his arsenal.
Yeah.
It feels like one of those, maybe not a boss battle, but like one of those enemies where it's just like, how do you do damage to this thing? And you're like using all your abilities, wasting all your MP. And you're just like chipping away at its health. Yeah. Finally, he's like, the Beskar spear. And shoves that thing right through his head.
Yeah, gets him dead, and then he's able to like go over and open the hatch basically, so all the dark troopers are like sucked out into space, and for a moment we're like, yay, he did it.
Well, meanwhile, Bo-Katan and the rest of her crew, they flank, and they're just like, where's Moff Gideon?
Yeah.
Like, she's obsessed over this character and the Darksaber, to where it's just like, I sense some dark side in here.
And that's the thing. That's like why I don't think that she's going to be a protagonist, because there's that obsession, but it's a very dark obsession.
Yeah,
it's not,
and we'll touch on it later.
Yeah, I think that could be a separate video once we get to know her a little bit more in the Clone Wars. But yeah, I don't think she's
so. Moff Gideon, he's protecting the child, and
protecting the child
for his own interests.
Yes. So we get to. Din goes in and he finds the child, and Moff Gideon is standing with the Darksaber over Grogu, like, come at me, bro, like, you know. And then they get into a little bit more about
the philosophy of the saber.
Right, why Bo-Katan wants the saber, and he's like, yeah, it's hers. Like, he doesn't try to hide it at all. He's like, yeah, I took it from her. Like, he's just very open about how
Moff
he
Gideon's
acquired
a
the
great
sword.
Character.
Yeah, and
that is my first complaint. I wanted a bit more of him.
I agree. I think that he was utilized in a way, but I definitely want more of him.
Yeah, I thought it would be like
because there was even a moment where we were watching it, and he's like, I got what I want from the child. Go ahead and take him. And I'm like, is Moff Gideon a good guy? No. Like, is he really a bad guy?
That was a bait.
Yeah, it was a moment of like, I don't know what's going to happen.
It was a good bait because I was so fixed on they're doing a bait and switch. He's actually going to just be like neutral. It's just like, I'm bad. I have my own self-interest. But if Bo-Katan gets her hands on this saber, some shit's about to go down. That's what I was expecting.
I just like, it was set up really well for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know much about the extended universe. So I'm just like, is he a good guy?
Right.
Like, is he a bad guy? Like, what's going to happen? I was genuinely like invested in that moment.
Psych, they have their fight.
Yeah.
Mando wins and he claims the Darksaber.
Yeah.
And like, this is when I thought the turn was going to happen. Was he's just like, oh, I don't want to give it to you. He's like, oh, you don't give it to her.
Yeah.
You won the Darksaber. That saber is useless.
Yeah.
Unless she beats you in combat.
So, and he keeps trying to be like, I yield, I forfeit, just take it. Like, he doesn't want the Darksaber.
And she just looks pissed and disappointed, like, ugh.
Like, oh, great. But the whole point of that, he goes into the backstory of like the Darksaber. The power is not in the actual sword itself.
Right.
It's in winning it in battle.
Yeah.
So because Din won the Darksaber, it is his. It's not going to work for Bo-Katan.
Right.
So now he's like, go ahead, kill him. Like, egging her on basically of like, now you gotta kill him. Like, and you can just see it on her face where she's just like, I just might.
Yeah, she might. I would not have been surprised. And like all the dark troopers, like they flew out into space and they're just like, we're back.
Yeah, because the alarms start going off, and Faye is basically like, we have company. There's someone here, and they're like, how many life forms? And she just like looks at the camera, like none. Office style, and she goes, none. And it's like the light bulb, like, oh no, they're back.
And like they come in, they're packing, they got their guns.
They are ready.
And I'm ready for like either a shootout or some kind of casualty. I'm just like, there's gonna be a casualty, things are gonna be intense.
Something's gonna happen.
It's gonna be
like, they close the doors down.
And then I want you to take it from here.
Okay, this is my biggest complaint, and I'm gonna get into why. So they close the doors, everyone is ready, they are ready for a fight. Moff Gideon is egging them on, like, everyone in here is gonna die except for me and the child. And like, in my head I'm thinking like, oh shit, he's right, like, everyone's gonna die.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, another ship boards, and we're like, oh, okay, is it gonna be a good guy, is it gonna be a bad guy? And the way that Grogu's acting, we're like, it's a Jedi.
Yes.
You know, he connected with someone in the Force, and a Jedi has found him, and that's that. So we see this cloaked figure, and the whole time, you know, we're like, who is it? Like, who's it gonna be? And then you see the green lightsaber, and you see a gloved hand, and I'm like, no!
We were doing so well.
And of course, like, this Jedi kills all of the dark troopers, and
so threat diminished in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, and the whole time Din is watching this on the security cameras, the child is like touching the screen, like, my friend, like he knows this person is here for him. And of course, Din is like, open the doors. He opens the doors, and the Jedi is like, there, and then he takes the hood off, and it's freaking Luke Skywalker.
Voiced by Mark Hamill, at least. But yeah,
it just ruined the whole thing for me. Like, for me personally, why I like The Mandalorian and why it brought back a love for Star Wars, because they took this giant universe, and they picked another piece outside of the Skywalker story, outside of what has been beaten to death over the past 50 years, like. And they made it new. They like refreshed the story. And now what did they do at the very freaking end?
Yeah.
They bring in a Skywalker. Like, let the story die. Like, the Skywalkers are over. It's overdone. And I hate that they brought it into The Mandalorian.
Not only that, but like, I think the tipping point for me was like, Luke wasn't enough. Here's R2.
I know.
And I'm just fuck you, Disney.
And it just like, it's so upsetting because, again, let the Skywalkers go. Let them go. They had their moment to shine.
Yeah,
this
really.
whole thing, they did so well, bringing in like little tiny Easter eggs of the old films that needed more room to breathe, like Boba Fett.
Yeah. This was very much an applaud.
Yeah,
it's
and
Luke.
This was
it's
like,
Luke.
Oh, where's Leia? Where's Darth?
I know.
Like, the whole thing, like, it's just frustrating. Like, they were doing so well expanding on this massive universe that was created.
I would have preferred, and I don't even know this character, but like Ezra, because like he's like the protagonist from like Rebels and something. He's currently a Jedi.
Anyone else. Make up a new freaking Jedi. I don't care. Just anyone else.
Maybe the dude from Fallen Order, the video game.
Oh my god, just anyone. But no, it had to be a Skywalker. Like, that killed it for me. That just killed the whole episode for me. They were doing so well, in my opinion.
And I'll explain.
For me, it killed it. Because I'm like, great, now we're just going to do another, like, or, Rey and just anyone else.
Not necessarily, because we still have that nice moment of, like, Grogu and Mando get to say their goodbye.
Yeah.
And it was a very emotional, heartfelt moment.
And
he took
Mando
off his mask and everything, and he's just like, hey, see you around, kid. And symbolically, it felt like, all right, those that like Mandalorian only and not Star Wars, last stop. You may now get off. This is your closure.
Yeah.
Like, this is the story. It's over. If you're just here for Star Wars for the sake of Star Wars. Hey, there's R2. There's Chewbacca. I know that reference. I applauded it for being different. Death Star. Oh, boy. Like, when you just look at, like, the plan that, like, this gets a show, and this gets a show, and this is on Disney+. Once again, Disney's learned nothing.
Seeing everything that's coming, like,
Star Wars is gonna hike its skirt.
It just. I don't know what that was. I think that was Disney popping out.
Disney popping out, Disney Plus, hiking its skirt. Ha-donk, Ahsoka. Ha-donk, the Bad Batch. Ha-donk, Boba Fett. Milk it till the tits are cream cheese.
Like, I hate that they did that. They like...
At least they gave us some closure.
Yeah, they spent so much time building up these characters and building up this alternate world in this universe, and you're like, I'm taking off the hat.
Like, I like Star Wars, I really do, but Disney just, I don't think they've learned their lesson.
See, I like Star Wars, but there is a moment where it's done. Yeah. The story is completed. And to me, the Skywalker storyline is done. Yeah. It is completed, and they are beating a dead horse. Yes. So it's like, oh, well, we haven't talked about this part of Luke's life. Let's flesh that out. Like, no, let him be. Let the mystery of what they do outside of the movie makes them more interesting in the movie. So if you talk about every single tiny little bitty aspect of their life, they're not interesting anymore because there's no mystery in that character. So the fact that they're literally beating the Skywalker clan and they're like, we didn't talk about these few seconds of their life. What did they do in those few seconds of their life? Like, it's boring now. It's like, it's not interesting anymore. Right. So, and then they brought in this new aspect, a new character, a new world inside this world. And it's like, that was so interesting to be like, you can recognize the stormtroopers. You can recognize the Mandalorians. You can recognize the creatures and the puppetry that they're using. You know what a Womp Rat looks like now. Yeah. And it's like, it was so fresh and it was fun with all the little Easter eggs that they were using. And then now it's like, oh, no. That wasn't enough. People that are new to Star Wars need to see what made Star Wars Star Wars. Let's bring in Luke and R2. And it's like, all right, where's C-3PO? Bring him in. Yeah, like, where'd he go? Like, might as well bring the whole freaking crew in. Like,
I was surprised. I'm glad because, like, I know that there's competent writers, but being Disney, I was surprised there wasn't we got to get going. Leia's waiting in the ship or something like that.
Of, like, the sound off. It was just very frustrating, especially to end that way after such a touching moment between Din and Grogu. Yeah. And it shows a lot. I'm disappointed in how I feel like they did Din dirty. Okay. Say that 10 times fast. Din dirty.
Felt Din dirty.
But like, because he had this touching moment and he not only showed the child his face. Yeah. But that's such an extreme moment going from like the helmet never comes off. Right. To him taking his helmet off for the child to see his face. Yeah. And it's like, I feel like now we're not going to get to see where Din goes from here of like, does he leave the creed? Is that his goal now where he's like, I love this child more than being a Mandalorian? Or is he going to evolve into the new Mandalore where he can take his helmet off, he can show his face?
Honestly, but he still felt like an ending to me.
Yeah, and
because the next season is like...
It's Boba Fett.
Yeah, because
we were watching the credits, waiting for the storyboards, because that's my favorite part. Or seeing the storyboards, seeing the artwork. And
we got a stinger, Marvel fashion, and I'm just like, well, this is transparent. They're trying to do Marvel again. They want to build every little piece so it can all build to like one climactic thing.
But
it's like,
so like, if you're watching this and for spoilers and stuff like that, that's fine. But if you do watch the episode afterwards, or if you've already watched the episode and you stop once the credits start to roll, keep going because there's a scene at the very end. So after the credits are done, they play another scene again, like you said, true Marvel fashion. Sit through everything because there's more at the end we're at Jabba's palace. And you just see Faye come in and she basically takes everyone out. And then Boba Fett marches in, kills the last one. Yeah. And sits in the throne. Yeah. So, and it says, chapter 2, Boba Fett.
Yeah, the book about Boba Fett.
So, Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, it comes out next year.
And that's what's coming out. So it's not Mandalorian Season 3. It's Mandalorian Boba Fett.
It might be called Mandalorian Season 3, but it is the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. So it's like, we're done with Din. We're done with Grogu. We're done with those characters. And
it feels manipulative.
I feel unsatisfied.
Well, it feels manipulative because it's just like, we're so burnt out from like Disney Star Wars with like Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. Here's something different, almost like a lore. Yeah. Okay, we got you. Let's get rid of those and go back to what we wanted to do from the beginning, was just keep building Star Wars after Star Wars after Star Wars.
Again, what made Mandalorian so great and so special was because it was in the realm, the universe of George Lucas's Star Wars.
Right.
But it was like a far corner that we didn't get any of in the entire, even extended the extended series of the films. I'm not saying the entire extended universe because I don't know much about that, so it could have been in Clone Wars or Rebels, things like that, but I haven't watched those yet. I'm going to.
Out of all the stuff coming forward, I'm more interested in going back and watching Clone Wars,
getting more
Rebels.
Involved in the extended
I'm curious
universe.
about them. This future stuff, like every once in a while I'll pop in, but just because it says Star Wars, I don't think it'll be a quality product.
I'm nervous. I'm very nervous.
I've been
I feel
burned
like
before,
they did the characters dirty.
I feel this again.
Yeah, I feel like they did the characters dirty. I don't like that they brought the Skywalkers back in. I mean, it's fine. We get to see more about Boba Fett, what he's up to. But at the same time, like, again, you have this massive universe and you're just staying right over here.
Yeah, you're going to constantly bring back things we remember.
And it's like, I mean, you're more creative than this. This world is massive. There's so much lore to go on, and you're just going to stick right in there. It's very... I wasn't a fan.
Right. So yeah, what did you think of the finale of The Mandalorian Season 2? Did you like it? Were you disappointed? Did you hate it? Let us know in the comments down below, and we'll see you in some more future endeavors. We actually have a request to do WandaVision, so we're going to check that out when it comes out, January 15th. We're going to do a first impressions, and if it's more
something
to our cup of tea, we'll watch it each week. If it's like, we'll wait it out and wait until the whole thing's done.
Watch it
then
and then
we'll just do a recap of the whole season.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys in the new year. Take care.
Toodles.